My name is Blake Strode. I've been at ArchCity Defenders since the fall of 2015, so coming on 9 years. The basic idea of a debtor's prison is incarcerating someone because they owe a debt. It is exactly what it sounds like. People that can't pay some amount of money are sent to a jail or prison to work off that debt. It's a very old idea. But in the context of our work, it's been more prevalent in the context of municipal courts. So fines and fees owed to various municipalities land someone in a cycle of court appearances, can eventually end up in warrants for arrest, and then suddenly you're in this cycle of jail, incarceration because of that outstanding debt. What that tends to look like in the municipal court context is the amount that's outstanding, the amount that's owed, is what you then have to pay to buy your way out of jail. So that's the kind of practice that we saw really frequently in 2014, 2015, even 2016. So at the time I joined ArchCity in 2015, the organization had started litigating debtors' prison claims. At that point, they'd filed 2 major lawsuits against the city of Ferguson and city of Jennings. And the Jennings case actually would settle shortly after I arrived at ArchCity. Ferguson obviously went much longer than that, filed many more cases against other municipalities. When I first came back to St. Louis and when I first started working at ArchCity, it was really a learning process to understand the ways that municipal police and jails and courts operated and how they routinely function to criminalize poverty. And so as someone who grew up in St. Louis, a part of it for me was sort of putting in context things that became very normal, very commonplace in St. Louis. Clients who have been through so much, who have been through traumatic experiences, have an avenue to fight back and be able to actually name the harms that had occurred to them and name the actors that had carried out those harms. And so I just was able to see transformation really in a lot of our clients from being able to actually call out, name, and shame and fight back against many of the systems that had harmed them and their families so much. Definitely for our clients, I mean, there's been some material impact. I mean, I'm very proud to have worked with our clients over the years to actually get millions of dollars back for them and people that suffered in these jails and in these courts over the years. So that, I think that material impact is really important. But for the region, I also think, the same process I described for myself of learning and better understanding not just what has happened in these systems for so long, but also that it's wrong, how it's wrong, why it's unlawful. I think there's been this kind of public education process through the litigation and through the related, comms and media advocacy work and organizing work, that as a region, this term even, debtor's prison, is something that you would pick up the newspaper on any given day and see someone referring to these practices in St. Louis as debtor's prison practices and as criminalization of poverty. And I think that has had an impact on the collective psyche in the St. Louis region. One dynamic, one tragedy really that I always think about with these cases in thinking about the clients is just, they really are, they're amazing people. The people that I've met and that we've met over the course of these cases are really incredibly strong, resilient, amazing people. And we have lost some along the way. And I just always like to remember people like Keely Fant and Tanya DeBerry and Darren Yates. These are all named plaintiffs in these cases. These cases would not exist but for people that decided to take what was moments of real pain and trauma and hardship in their lives and not only broadcast them to the world, but demand some kind of recompense, demand some kind of justice for them. And I find that to be just a mind-blowing act of courage, and it's a deep injustice that those people didn't get to see, how those stories ended. But I think they're going to shape this region for many decades to come, and so I'm just proud to have been associated with them.